If I said 22-380, would you know what I'm talking about? A lot of you may already know, or you think you've heard something about what's going on, but for those of you who have questions, I'm about to drop the facts. And just so you know, the Supreme Court is going to be talking about this very case tomorrow. I want to thank my TikTok subscribers for voting for this story for me to cover as a bonus this week. If you want to vote too, subscribe to my page during my next live event. So back to 22-380. It's actually a court case. I keep seeing people on the internet referring to it by that number, but the truth is nobody refers to court cases like this by number. The case is called Brunson versus Adams et al. A guy named Brunson is suing 385 members of the House and the Senate, starting with Representative Alma Adams and including President Biden, Vice President Harris, and former Vice President Pence. Brunson's suit claims all those defendants broke their oaths of office by voting to certify the electors of the Electoral College on January 6, 2021, making Joe Biden the president. Brunson's suit says those members of Congress chose not to investigate the allegations of what he calls election fraud, foreign election interference, and national security risks in the 2020 presidential election. Brunson wants all 385 lawmakers plus the president and vice president removed from office immediately, and none of them, including former Vice President Pence, to ever be able to hold office again. So that's basically the case. Now, here are the facts. Brunson took his case to a federal district court in Utah in June of 2021. The judge there threw it out for lack of jurisdiction. Brunson then appealed his case to the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in February of 2022. In October of 2022, the three-judge panel made up of judges appointed by Presidents George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, and Donald Trump unanimously upheld the lower court ruling and threw Brunson's case out for lack of jurisdiction. Brunson then appealed to the Supreme Court, and that brings us to tomorrow. Now, the Supreme Court has countless cases presented every year, and many times throughout the year, the High Court has what's called a conference. During that conference, all the justices get together in one room and they look at all of the options on the table and decide which of those cases they want to hear, if any at all. This is not a hearing, nor is it oral arguments. It's literally just the justices deciding whether they want to even concern themselves with a case or not. As part of their regularly scheduled conference on January 6th, tomorrow, the Supreme Court is going to be looking at all these cases as potential cases that they may hear. And Brunson's case is right there. It's one of them. And if Brunson's case is not selected, then the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals ruling stands and his case is thrown out. 4 of the 9 justices have to agree to hear Brunson's case to put it on the docket.